welcome back to my channel. My name is Shreshtha Mishra and today we're going to discuss about science and we're going to discuss about animals, and our topic for today is science, animals everywhere. So let's begin. First, let's recap that what we know. We know that animals live everywhere on the earth. Animals need a suitable place to live. Exactly. They live in a place which provides them with food, water, shelter, and the right kind of environment they need. They also live in a place which fulfills all their requirements. And so, they live in a place in which they feel comfortable. Such a place where they feel comfortable and they get all their requirements is called habitat of the animal. In other words, we can say that habitat is a natural home of living things. Now, let's discuss about types of habitat. There are different types of habitats on the earth. Forests, deserts, grasslands, mountains, rivers, and oceans are some of the examples of different types of habitats. Ponds are also one of the habitats. Not only these, but there are many types of habitats in this world, like rainforests and many more. Each kind of animal lives in a particular habitat. For example, floricans, a type of bird, blackbucks, and cheetahs live in a warm grasslands with plenty of open spaces and rich growth of grass. Such animals can't survive in the rainforest, wet and occupied with trees. Orangutans and hornbills live in dense rainforests. They will not be able to survive in open grasslands. They need occupied spaces. Yaks and snow leopards live in cold, high mountainous regions of the Himalayas. They don't live in warm places. They will not be able to. And all of these animals are helped by their features, their body features. Such features help them to just live comfortably in any type of environment, like yaks, snow leopards, yaks and snow leopards. Such animals live in high mountainous regions, and they have red blood cells and thick fur which protect them from dust. Polar bears live only in extremely cold, non-polar regions where there is ice all the time. Polar bears, yeti, and all such animals also have thick fur and red blood cells which help them to live in such a cold region and freezing temperature. Now, let's talk about the types of animals. There are only two types of animals: terrestrial animals and aquatic animals. Terrestrial animals are those animals which live on land, are called terrestrial animals. They live in open grasslands, hot deserts, wet rainforests, cold polar regions, and on mountains. Some of them also live around us, like dogs, cats, buffaloes, goats, etc., which can survive in all the conditions. Now comes aquatic animals. Animals that live in water are called aquatic animals. They live in oceans, lakes, rivers, and ponds. Fish, starfish, corals, shrimps, sea snakes, whales, dolphins, and water birds are aquatic animals. These animals cannot survive on land. Like if you take out fish out from the water, promptly it will die because they can only survive in water. Crabs are also aquatic animals. All the animals need food to live, like human beings, birds, insects, animals, and other microorganisms also need their requirements to survive in this world. They obtain food from their surroundings. Different animals eat different kinds of food. Their mouth parts are suited to types of food they eat. Eating habits of animals. Now comes feeding habits. So, there are different types of animals divided. carnivores, herbivores, and omnivores are the three main types. But apart from them, there are insectivorous plants, detrivorous plants, and parasites. In this video, you will be learning about carnivores, herbivores, omnivores, and parasites. But insectivores and detrivores are also the plants. They are also the animals. This here is the beautiful chart depicting the types of animals and into their feeding habits. First, let's discuss them one by one. So see, herbivores. Herbivores are the animals which eat only plants like cows, buffaloes, camel, etc. Carnivores. Carnivores are such animals like lion, tiger, leopard. Omnivores. Omnivores are those animals like crow, bears, and humans. Even humans are omnivores. Parasites. Parasites are microorganisms like bacteria, virus, protozoa, fungi, etc. Now let's learn about them one by one. First, let's see introduction. Animals eat food in order to get energy to live. We all need energy to live and survive. You can often figure out what types of food an animal eats by looking at its body and mouth. Herbivores. Herbivores are the animals which eat only plants and plant material. Herbivores may eat leaves, fruits, roots, or even tree barks, which are so hard. They usually eat often during the day in order to have enough energy. Now, let's see more about herbivores. Animals such as rabbits, cows, goats, horses, elephants, and tortoises eat only plants. Such animals are called herbivores. They have broad flat teeth that help them to chew plants. Now comes omnivores. Omnivores are animals that can eat both plants, materials, and meat and flesh. They can get their food more easily than other animals because they can eat more types of food than either herbivores or carnivores. In other words, we can say that omnivores are the animals that eat both of them. So whatever is available at the moment, they can have it. So that's more easy for them to find food. Humans are omnivores because it eats fruits and vegetables and other crops which come from plants. So it eats plants and meat, flesh, not flesh but it eats meats. So meat, since it is eating both plants and animals, it is omnivores. Omnivores eat both plants and animals. Peacocks, for example, eat snakes, garden lizards, eggs of other birds, frogs, and insects. They also eat seeds and tender leaves, so they eat almost everything. Sparrows, foxes, black bugs, dogs, and human beings are omnivores. Now comes the turn of carnivores. Any animal that eats meat or the flesh of animals is known as carnivores. Carnivores are also called flesh eaters. Now comes feeding habits in insects. Insects form a large group of animals living on the earth. Many kinds of insects feed on nectar from flowers. Bees, moths, and butterflies are such insects. They have a straw-like mouth part to suck nectar. Some birds, such as dragonfly and ladybird beetle, eat other insects. Some, such as grasshoppers, eat leaves of plants. Certain mosquitoes, such as blood of animals. Many kinds of insects feed on remains of plants and some even feed on dung of animals. Now comes the turn of birds. Feeding habits in birds. Different birds eat different kinds of food. They feed with their beaks. The size and shape of the beak depends on the kind of the food bird eats. Birds such as doves and rock pigeons eat only seeds. Pelicans and penguins eat fish. Sunbirds and hummingbirds suck nectar from the flowers with their straw-like beaks. owls and eagles eat other animals. They feed on other animals. So they are carnivorous birds. So we can understand that the birds that eat other animals are known as carnivorous birds. But the birds which eat seeds or plant leaves are called herbivorous birds. Certain eagles of the rainforest feed on small monkeys and some catch fish for food. Vultures eat flesh of dead animals. They are called scavengers. So the birds which eat flesh of dead animals which are already dead, they are known as scavengers. Now let's talk about movement. Why do animals move? Well, animals move from one place to another in search of food. They also move to escape from other animals that hunt them. So they escape from predators. So they move for escapement. They move to return to their shelters and also to find their partners for reproduction. Now let's talk about the different types of movements. Well, different types of animals make different types of movements. Like for example, some animals fly, some animals swim, some animals move on land. So first, let's learn about animals that fly. Most birds, bats and insects can fly. These animals have wings. So they have wings, that's why they can fly. Insects are small animals. All insects have 6 legs. Most insects have wings and can fly. All birds have 2 wings or 2 legs. So birds have either 2 wings or 2 legs. Their wings and legs enable them to fly. The feet help them to take off. A bird whose leg is injured can't fly. The shape of their bodies and hollow bones also help the birds to fly. The body of the bird is covered with different kinds of feathers. The wings are covered with flight feathers. Tail feathers help the birds to control their flight. Some birds, such as ostrich, kiwi, and emu, can't fly. So there are some birds which do not fly. Now let's talk about the animals that swim. Fish swim with the help of fins. The shape of their bodies also help them swim. The flipper-like strong wings, streamlined body, and their webbed feet make penguins excellent swimmers. They spend most of their time in the sea. Birds such as ducks also have webbed feet that enable them to swim. Frogs swim with the help of the webbed feet. Whales live in the seas. They swim with the help of flippers. Now let's talk about animals that move on land. Animals that live on land show different types of movements. So each movement type animal has its particular movement. But the animals that move on land are the only animals which have different types of movement in their own category. Like they walk, some animals walk, some animals run, some animals hop, and whereas some animals also slide. Like cheetah runs, snake slides, and rabbit hops. The animals such as rabbits and Easter bunny hops. Snakes and cobras slide, whereas cheetahs, lions, tigers, dogs, cats, etc. run. Most land animals move with the help of their limbs. Mice, rabbits, goats, tortoises, and lizards move on land with their 4 limbs. Some animals, such as cheetahs and deer, can run at the great speed. Animals such as monkeys use limbs to climb trees and jump from one tree to another. Leopards too can climb trees easily as they have no more weight. They have very less weight. Tigers, lions can't climb the trees as they are very heavy. Rabbits and kangaroos hop with the help of their strong hind legs. Snakes do not have limbs. They move by slanting their bodies. Most snakes can swim and climb trees. Sea snakes, are also snakes which can swim and climb trees, whereas the normal land snakes also can climb trees easily as they're too light. Now let's talk about movement in human beings. So it's our turn now. And well, we walk, stand and run with the help of our legs and hands. Legs help in moving and hands help in balancing. Our help and balancing when we move. The same thing I said right now. So try this once. Can you run or walk with ease with both your hands tied together? Well, you can. You can move, but then there will not be ease while moving because then you will might fall because hands are very important for balancing while walking. Now let's come. This we have learned that fish swim with the help of their fins. This all we have learned that penguins and all the streamlined bodies help in making the way. This we have learned that human beings walk, stand, run, and this all that we have learned that it helps in balancing our body when we move. So hope you learned something new in today's episode. Meet you in the next episode of something, maybe stories, movies or something new educational. So meet you in the next video. Till then, thank you, bye bye.